Best free things to do in Istanbul. Istanbul is a city spread across 2 continents, Europe and Asia, with a rich history and culture spanning thousands of years. Whether you're interested in architecture, art, nature, or shopping, you'll find something to enjoy in this vibrant metropolis. And the best part is, you don't have to spend a dime to have a great time in Istanbul. Let's look at the best free things to do in the city. This is Cheap Travel Buddy, your go-to place for budget travel tips. Subscribe to the channel for more free travel content. Let's get into the video. Number 6. Visit the Blue Mosque. The Blue Mosque is, without a doubt, one of the best things to see and do in Istanbul. And best of all, it's completely free. It's the same mosque you generally see when you search for Istanbul. It is not only a religious place of worship, but also a tourist attraction to help educate people on the Muslim faith within Istanbul. It was built by Sultan Ahmed first in the early 1600s and named after the blue tiles that decorate its interior walls. The mosque has an array of domes, semi-domes, and minarets, or narrow towers, that create a stunning silhouette against the sky. It is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. local time and closed during prayer times. So the best time to visit would be between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And remember, the Blue Mosque is an active religious site, so you must dress modestly, with women covering their heads and shoulders and men avoiding shorts and sleeveless shirts. Shoes must also be removed before entering the mosque. Number 5. Go fishing at Galata Bridge and watch the view. One of the most iconic sites in Istanbul is the Galata Bridge, which connects the old city of Eminönü with the modern district of Karaköy. The bridge is always crowded with fishermen who cast their lines into the Golden Horn, hoping to catch some fish. You can join them for free or watch them from the bridge or one of the cafes or restaurants below. You can also enjoy the stunning view of the Galata Tower, the Bosphorus Strait, and the mosques and minarets of Sultanahmet. And if you're feeling hungry, you can always buy a fish sandwich from one of the vendors on the bridge. Just make sure it's fresh and not from yesterday. Number 4. Tour the historic streets of Kuzguncuk. Kuzguncuk is a charming neighborhood on the Asian side of Istanbul, where you can find colorful houses, quaint cafes, antique shops, and art galleries. It's a great place to stroll around and admire the architecture and atmosphere of old Istanbul. You can also visit some of the historic churches, synagogues, and mosques that reflect the diversity of this area. Kuzguncuk is easily accessible by ferry from Eminönü or Üsküdar. And don't worry, you won't need a passport to cross the Bosphorus. A bonus tip to do: take a ferry ride across the Bosphorus Strait. Bosphorus Strait is a narrow, natural strait that divides Istanbul into 2 continents. A ferry ride across the strait provides views of Istanbul's skyline and the stunning waterfront mansions, palaces, and fortresses. Several companies operate regular tours along the strait, ranging from short hour-long rides to longer half-day or full-day tours. It is not free to do. It costs you upward of $10 on whatever package you select, but it's worth it. And as I mentioned before, you don't need a passport for the ride. The best time to take the ride is during the spring or summer months, when the weather is pleasant and the skies are clear. Bring a camera to capture the stunning scenery and enjoy a cup of traditional Turkish tea or coffee on board. Number 3. Stroll around the Gulhane Park. Gulhane Park is one of the oldest and largest public parks in Istanbul. It was once part of the Topkapi Palace Gardens, but now it's open to everyone who wants to enjoy some greenery and tranquility in the city. You can walk along the paths, sit on the benches, admire the flowers, or have a picnic under the trees. You can also visit some of the monuments and museums inside the park, such as the Museum of the History of Science and Technology in Islam, the Column of the Goths, and the statue of Ataturk. Gulhane Park is located in Sultanahmet near Hagia Sophia Museum, so you can plan to visit all these attractions in a day. Number 2. Visit the Spice Bazaar and the Grand Bazaar. No trip to Istanbul is complete without visiting the Spice Bazaar and the Grand Bazaar, 2 of the world's oldest and largest covered markets, with over 4,000 shops. Vendors sell everything from spices and textiles to jewelry and souvenirs. You don't have to buy anything to enjoy these places. Just walk around and soak up the sights, smells, and sounds of these bustling bazaars. The Spice Bazaar is located in Eminönü near the Galata Bridge And the Grand Bazaar is situated in Beyazıt near Sultanahmet. A tip for the bazaar: if you decide to buy something, don't forget to haggle like a pro. The local rule is to start with 1/5 of the marked price. That way, you have enough room to bargain and will walk away with a good deal. Especially if you look like you have enough money, you're sure to get overcharged for everything. Number 1. Experience the Hagia Sophia. It is undoubtedly the best place to visit in Istanbul. Hagia Sophia Museum is one of the most impressive and important monuments in Istanbul and the whole world. It was built as a church by Emperor Justinian I in the 6th century and later converted into a mosque by Mehmed II in the 15th century. Today, it's a museum showcasing Byzantine and Ottoman art and architecture. You can admire the vast dome, the mosaics, the calligraphy, the columns, and the history of this fantastic building. It is located in Sultanahmet Square next to Blue Mosque. Make sure you visit here at the right time. In the middle of the mosque, there are barriers separating the prayer section, and during prayer hours, you cannot cross these barriers, so your experience will be limited. You might see long lines at the entrance, but worry not. Visitors are admitted in groups, and you will enter in no time. And it's completely free to visit. You can give some donations, though. So these are the best free things to do in Istanbul. Which one of these did you like the most? Let me know in the comments. Watch our other videos on free things to do in cities like New York, London, and Paris. Also, follow us on Instagram at Cheap Travel Buddy for more travel content. Have a good day. Keep traveling.